It's lovely and enjoyable. So we're staying here. The service is not over. This is the program part of our service. And I'm looking for Rohan, who's going to give me, we are good, right? So I am delighted, and I know that our heart is so much that belong to the East, really sent to, its desires and thoughts are very much with East, meaning with Israel, with its people, its country, and its concerns, its celebrations, and incredible things that takes place in that land. And we have a deep, deep connections, both very familial, as well as one of my friends said, that we're actually, all related. So it is my pleasure to welcome Shirat HaGan and all of you here in the sanctuary. So I'm going to wave, and I see you through or being seen through the camera right over here. It's very unobtrusive, but I actually can see your faces on the screen to my right. So let me just share with you, if you did not know, how this relationship came about. And thank you, Mark, and thank you very much, especially Mayor Bester, who is not with us today, but I think is on Zoom, to be able to bring this program together. And somewhere in the winter, we began dating, if I may say so. What that meant is we tried to reach out to communities in a progressive community in Israel, so we can make this bridge possible. And we tried with the community up north, and unfortunately, due to their evacuation and disruption of their life, due to the reality of what's happening in the north of Israel, we could not sustain that connection, and we continue looking because we wanted to make this bridge possible. And this extraordinary group of people responded. And they are in Ramat Gan, and the name of this community is Shirat HaGan. And we created the Zoom call, and Mark Adler was on it, and Mayor and myself, and also representatives of Shirat HaGan, and Raman, and Rabbi Gregory. And we start our communication, and we realize how much we want to be connected and speak to one another and develop something together. So I made sure that we would be represented in Israel in July, and Joel and I made sure we spent Shabbat in Tel Aviv and in Ramat Gan, and came to services to meet community of Shirat HaGan. And I brought with me, thank you very much, Joel Troster, if you just get up for 1 second and wave, right? And the reason my pleasure to ask Joel to stand up is that I carried gifts with us. Of course, puppets for children, which is our signature when we worked with refugees in Ukraine, but here 2 children of Shirat HaGan. And they were beautiful, as well as the challah board that was carved by Joel, and hamsas that Joel makes out of a wood for protection, love, and a blessing. And we had had an opportunity to be part of very special Kabbalat Shabbat. So what I witness, Rabbi Gregory, under your extraordinary leadership, is incredible dedication, love, patience, generosity, and spirit and optimism and as you looked after your community. So in a moment, what also made this connection very special is the fact that it is a Russian-speaking community as well as Hebrew-speaking community. And the prayer book is both, I daven Kabbalat Shabbat in Russian and in Hebrew, which is, if you would have said this to my great-great-grandparents parents that this would take place in the land of Israel, and they probably wouldn't believe it, but it did. So the music, the sensibility, inclusion of men and women, and it's liberal and spirited was really the spirit of the evening was very very much felt. And so in this week's Torah portion, Ki Tavo, there's blessings and there's things that are not so good that are mentioned that can happen to all of us. But this meeting and this exchange is about blessing, about truly brachot. So I'm going to switch, forgive me, I'm going to switch into Russian for a second. So, but I promise I will say only wonderful things about you. How about that? Мои дорогие друзья, Равин, Гриша и ваши дорогие люди, мы так рады, что мы можем с вами общаться. И вот эта община добрая, община, которая любит еврейство и которая действительно болеет за Израиль и хочет это общение, глубокое общение с вами. Нам 50 лет, но мы очень молодые. Мы организовались 50 лет тому назад. Я с ними уже 22 года. И женщины принимают участие, и мы очень стараемся помочь и бедным, и всем, кто к нам приходит и жить действительно красивой еврейской жизнью. Так что рада с вами познакомиться, и всего вам самого доброго и теплого. So this is, so I have a little script, and the way things gonna go is now it will be Rabbi Gregory who will tap in and speak to us.
Thank you, Rabbi Tina. It's very nice to see you all. And I'll tell you briefly about our community. Our congregation was founded about 8 years ago in Ramat Gan near Tel Aviv by a group of newcomers to Israel. Many of them were members of Reform congregations in Petersburg and other places in FSU. Now we have people from Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, other FSU countries, students of conversion classes, graduates of Masa programs, etc. Our community grew, especially last 2 years since war in Ukraine. Many new members have joined. Initially, we held our Shabbat services, as Rabbi Tina say, in Russian and Hebrew, in the small New Olim Cultural Center in Ramat Gan, and then we moved to Museum of Russian Art, and now we moved to Beit HaTzanhan Community Center in Ramat Gan, where we rent premises. It's not our own place. We hold Shabbat meetings, celebrate holidays together, study weekly Torah portion, lectures in different topics related to Jewish culture and Israel. The classes are conducted in Russian, prayers in Russian and Hebrew, and every year the core event of our community life is Passover Seder, and also joint meal in Rosh Hashanah. And during Sukkot, we organize groups trips, and then Hanukkah we hold educational seminars every year, and also we have conversion class, and of course we offer the opportunity to conduct different life cycle events, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, weddings, baby naming ceremonies, etc. And I think it's special mission of our community to serve as a bridge for the new Olim and to integrate into Israeli society. Regardless of your level of religiosity, Israeli culture is deeply rooted in Jewish tradition. And every Israeli celebrates Purim and Passover and knows what is kashrut. This is the foundation of Israeli life. And for someone who wants to be successfully integrated into Israeli society, it's important to know and understand these things. It helps in communication, and the experience shows that a person who is familiar with Israeli traditions tends to be more successful in society and find their place in life more easily. And in the reform movement of Israel, our community also has its own mission, because the traditional participants of Reform congregations in Israel are generally middle-class Israelis. And in order to secure our place in Israel, our Reform place, it's important that the Reform movement finds support not only among the traditional audience, but also within other segments of Israel society, including Russian-speaking Olim. After the prayer service, we always have a kiddush, and for us, it serves as a gathering place for newcomers. The majority of our community members are immigrants who have been in the country for less than 5 years. And these meetings provide them with the social and spiritual support that is so essential during the challenging first years of life in Israel, and especially last year of war. We were very pleased to welcome Rabbi Tina to our community last July, and we are grateful for the opportunity to connect with your community and learn about the life of our Jewish sisters and brothers in Canada. So thank you. And I would like to give our chair, Roman, yes, opportunity to speak.
Hello, everybody. It's a great pleasure for all of us to build this connection because it's very important for us to be and to feel not only a part of a small community, although it's a vibrant and fastly growing community of mostly Russian Olim, but um, it's very important for us to feel being a part of a larger reform movement all over the world. So this connection is very special for us, and we are very happy to get acquainted with Rabbi Tina and with all of you. And I really hope that we manage to build a very strong connection through the years, and we will get to meet each other better. Um, we can share experience between us, because you said you're a young community of 50-year experience. We have only 7 or 8 years of experience, but I think every such experience is very unique, and it's a great pleasure for us to get acquainted with you. As for our community, I want to say that um, among the Reform communities in Israel, we are probably the fastest growing community. Rabbi Gregory might say if it's true or not, but I think so. This is my feeling. We have 2 Russian communities, Reform communities in Israel, and due to the impact of the Russian-Ukraine war, and we have a great influx of new people joining us, and it's very important because all these people, they bring their own life experience, and we have something that we can give them, something really important, the feeling of being a part of Israeli society, since most of the people who came who joined our community, they are under 5 years of their life experience in Israel, and there are many things that they still have to learn. Me myself, I live in Israel since 2001, so I'm quite experienced in this way. I served in the army and studied in the university. I also work as a journalist, so I know quite well Israeli realities. But people who came and maybe they did not plan to come to Israel, let's say 5 years ago, if not the war. So when they come to a new society and they want to be accepted, they have to know better the place that they came to. And Israeli society is very special, with great tradition and a lot of things that people from the outside might not know. so we can share it with them. For example, people can turn to Rabbi Gregory or to other members of the community and find out that things that are common for any natural-born Israeli, maybe they're not common for them. For example, some people, they come and they have never observed kashrut in their life, and they don't even understand the importance of this issue in Israeli society, at least in some parts of Israeli society. And people come to learn about the traditions, about important life events. For example, the birth of a child. What do you do in the Jewish tradition? A lot of people who came to Israel in the last 2 years, well, not all of them, but some of them, they were quite far away from the Jewish tradition, and they're willing to get this knowledge, but they don't know where. And here in our community, they can do it in the most convenient way, in the most easy way, in their own native language, and our doors are open. And also, when you immigrate from one country to another, there is also such an issue that you don't have friends or maybe family in the new place, and our community offers a very warm home for all the newcomers. And we can see that after our Shabbat, if we can see that people don't want to go home. They just start to communicate with each other. They sing songs, and sometimes they can stay until late at night. And we also do different things outside of the place that we meet. Sometimes we just meet outside for picnics and things like that. So it's more than just a formal community. It's a group of life friends and people who support you, and it's very important for us. So this is, I just wanted to say these few words so that you understand better what is our community about. And we are willing to learn more and to get acquainted with more people. And I think it's a very great experience for us to learn the way you live, the way you operate your community, your challenges, because some of the things that you are confronted with, we just don't know what it is. Like, for example, anti-Semitism or things like that. And I think we can learn a lot from each other. So I'm really happy that we got a chance to meet each other, and that we can communicate, and I hope that this relationship will grow and strengthen. Okay, that's it. And have Shabbat Shalom.
We know it's your Havdalah at times, so we wanted to make sure that you also had a chance to hear from our, our members. So it's my pleasure to ask Dan Rosen to come up and to hear from us and познакомить вас с нашими замечательными людьми.
I was asked to say a few words a little bit about Darchei Noam and why I'm here, and a little bit about me, my connection to Israel, and October 7th. So I've been a member of Darchei Noam since 1993, just 31 years. I celebrated my daughter becoming bat mitzvah here. Her wedding was here. I celebrated this community my grandson's bris, my granddaughter's baby naming, and now my 12-year-old grandson is commencing his own bar mitzvah journey at Darchei Noam this year. I joined and became an active member because of the teachings of the Reconstructionist movement and Kaplan speak to me. It's an egalitarian, rational Judaism that I can connect with. The congregation grew up as a grassroots organization. If you wanted something to happen, you formed a committee and you made it happen. It's a congregation of learning, social action, communal support, lay leadership, and it's a strong community. If you ask people why they're here, a lot of the things that the Reconstructionist movement brought became much more commonplace among various Jewish denominations. But what we do have here is community. People say it's a community. And I've always felt that I get more out of what I give, I get more out of it than what I give. There's always been opportunities to engage. And while I love the rational Judaism, I also love the traditions and the rituals. I grew up, as many of us did, in a strong Zionist home and was part of a Zionist youth group. I went to a Zionist camp. I visited Israel with a Zionist group. I think I was 17, and a couple years later, I went back to live on Kibbutz Shamrat for 6 months to volunteer. I also have an ultra-Orthodox sister in Israel, a Baal Shuva, and I've traveled Israel many times as her children were growing up, and to visit a few other relatives and friends that I have in Israel and the more secular world as well. And as I grew older, while still carrying a love and commitment to Israel, I recognized the many warts, the injustices for both with the Israeli Arabs, with other minorities, the frustration over the control of the ultra-Orthodox in the public spheres, and the double standards when it comes to the settler communities. There's so many hopes for peace and equality, opportunities missed, while searching for peace in the region. And I know it's complicated, and there's plenty of blame to go around everywhere. In May of 23, I went to Israel with a group of women with a program we put together and visited organizations like AEJ, the Association for Ethiopian Jewry, Atid B'Midbar in Yerucham, the Parents Circle, ACRA, the Association for Civil Rights in Israel. And of course, I managed to be at the Kotel for Rosh Chodesh so that I could read Torah with Women of the Wall. October 7th has pushed me more right than I like to admit, but my heart has been breaking every day, each and every one of the 351 days since October 7th. I try to attend the weekly rally that's been going on Sundays from noon to 2 o'clock at Bathurst and Shepherd. This will be 51 weeks this week in support of the hostages, the families of the hostages, the families of the murdered hostages, the fallen soldiers and their families, and everyone in Israel that's living with the fears and of their loved ones being in danger. I share your trauma. Many of us do. All I can say is, Am Yisrael Chai. I hope that Israel can become a light unto the nations, but there is a long way to go. Bring them home now. And then how to end this war and find peace, I wish I knew the answer. I hope that our communities can learn from each other, and I look forward to our future connections. Thank you.
Grisha. Rabbi Gregory, if we can ask you to introduce the next Shirat HaGan member, please.
Okay. Thank you. We should open the microphone. And I would like to introduce Ksenia with her baby, please.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me now? Yes. Yeah, so hi. Yeah, my Russian name is Ksenia, and now I also have a Jewish name, which is Esther. And this is little baby Eitan, who was born here in the midst of the Israeli war. And it was a great pleasure actually to have Tina with us on a very special day for me, because exactly this day we celebrated the end of my conversion process. So it was very special to me, this meeting. And I would like to thank you all for gorgeous gifts for the challah board. And it was very special and touching. And I would like to share a bit of my personal perspective, because I think I'm exactly the kind of person Rabbi Gregory and then Roman mentioned, because I'm one of those immigrants from Russia who came to this country 2.5 years ago, exactly after Putin started his war. And we came unprepared. It was sudden. We fled the country, so we came with very basic Hebrew. We came with almost no to no connection to traditions. And we wanted very badly to this country to be our new home. So when we looked around and looked for the place that can teach us, that can explain to us what's going on, we couldn't find a place that was both accepting, not Orthodox community, because many of us are not Jews by Galaha, and also the place that speaks our language, both literally and metaphorically, culturally, so to say. So when we finally discovered this community and this place where to come and to learn in our own language about the country and to see, the people who lived here for 10 years and 20 years, and learn from them, not only about, both about the higher power and the role of tradition and the role of all the Jewish wisdom, and both to learn about Israel, about Israeli modern society, to see that there's more way to be Jew. It's not like our Orthodox brothers teaching us. To learn the political questions, because also on conversion classes, we discussed a lot what's going on. We discussed the Judaical reform, we discussed, and of course we discussed war now. And when the war started, the second one, in my life, the Israeli one, this community became a place of support, a pillar that just held us and helped us to, because, for most of us, we don't have any friends or family here. We only, for me, it's only me, my husband, and I was pregnant on October 7th. And our community was the only place where we can come and sit together with other people and to feel this connection. So it was very, very important. And then, wait, I have my notes because I wanted, I always forget what I wanted to say. And let me see. There's one observation that I made, both funny and a very natural one. So after 25 years, most of the people that immigrated from Russia together with us left the country, unfortunately, because they couldn't find the connection. They couldn't find their place in Israel. And I think almost all of my friends who stayed in the country, who found their place, they ended up joining the community. So now I'm very happy to see all of my friends there, and I think it's just, it speaks for itself. So I'm very happy for us to have this beautiful connection to another parts of the world, to your community. And I think the words connection and bridge are exactly the most important ones. Thank you all.
What a baby. Ksenia, такой сладкий мальчик, such a sweet little guy. And I remember having you up near Rabbi Gregory and that seminal moment of becoming a Jew. So it was very special. It was worth of every travel in the world. So I would like to ask Rab Schwartz, our member, to come forward for a few words and greetings. So Rab, thank you. Please.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. It's really a pleasure to meet your community. I think what strikes me is what's so similar between our two communities is that we are both liberal congregations and accepting of people who come from all walks of life, who may be Jewish or not Jewish, who converts or don't convert, men and women, people who know the traditions a bit, who know them a lot, and who don't know them at all. My own journey, I'll give you a little bit of my journey. I grew up here in Toronto, Canada, and I made Aliyah in 1982. Lived in Israel for 24 years and then came back here. And so when I came back here, I didn't know that there were communities like this here. I only knew the Orthodox in Canada. And it was so amazing for me to meet this community where I could come and not be so traditional and be able to be accepted immediately, even though I didn't know almost anybody here. I want to talk a little bit about, because I was asked to talk a bit about what's happening here since October 7th. And I can't help but bring my personal feelings into it. I think I can speak for many, if not all of us, that we are torn. I feel like my core has been eaten out. I don't recognize my country. I don't trust my government. I mean the Israeli government. I don't trust my army. I don't trust my intelligence. I'm shocked at what it seems we need to do to survive in the Middle East. I have trouble accepting the destruction that we cause. I don't know that we don't need to cause that destruction to survive, but I think we are struggling with that. I say this as somebody who lived in Israel for 24 years, who served in the IDF, who was injured, who had friends who were killed. And it makes me wonder, where are we at? Where are we going? And so coming to this community on Shabbat, being here, singing together with people, being able to feel some support, even if it's not explicit, means a lot. And so I can identify with your community in some ways. Russian, I don't know. Ukrainian, I don't know. But a liberal congregation acting as a community, bringing support and a way into Jewish tradition that is different than what the Orthodox and traditional sects do. So it's a pleasure. Shabbat Shalom.
Grisha, Rabbi Gregory, if you can ask another one of your members to speak, please.
Yes. The next one will be Stepan. Степа, пожалуйста.
Can you hear me? Hi. So my name is Stefan, and it is an honor to be here today. I've been a member of Shirat HaGan congregation for almost 2 years now, and I joined community when I began my conversion process. And for me, Shirat HaGan is more than just a place to pray or gather for events. It is a group of like-minded people who share similar values and experiences. And as Rabbi Grigori said, our community has grown a lot recently. We now have more than 300 members, if I'm not mistaken. And for example, last night we had over 110 people came together for Kabbalat Shabbat. And you know, it's really heartbreaking to see so many people coming together, especially during these challenging times, like the ones we've faced since October 7th. And as immigrants and new Israelis, we share many of the same challenges and emotions. And this community, I would say, is a safe place where we can talk, connect, and support one another. Personally, me, Shirat HaGan has given me the opportunity to meet new friends and build lasting relationships. And even though I live an hour away in Ashkelon, I never miss the chance to attend Kabbalat Shabbat. And one of the things I love about our community is how dynamic and open it is. There are always new faces at each event, and it feels like we are constantly growing. And we regularly take trips around Israel, organized by Nisha, and we love welcoming guests, like when Rabbi Tina visited us a couple of months ago. Sorry. And as Ksenia told, we still use the beautiful challah board she gifted us. And I think it was a really meaningful gift, as it symbolizes the generosity and connections we built with other communities like yours. And as Grisha told, our community has recently moved to a larger space, allowing us to welcome even more people. And we are always ready to greet guests with open arms. And I hope one day you will have the opportunity to visit us here in Israel and experience the warmth of Shirat HaGan congregation. So thank you.
Stova, спасибо. Thank you very much. At this point, first of all, I would like to say that organization of this program was just superb. So, Mayor, thank you for this list that allowed me to do this and for all of us to be on the same page, and also Mark for your contribution, support, and this extraordinary work. So we are gonna ask our participants, just to say a few words. And I want to say, and then also participants of Shirat HaGan, to members, to say a few words as well. I would like to say that we actually already organically made this bridge between Shirat HaGan and us. So there's 4 people here that have roots at Shirat HaGan, but are now attending Darchei Noam. And so I would like to welcome you for just a few seconds. If you can come up over here, so Shirat HaGan can see you as well. And you вас увидят. Иди сюда. Семья такая красивая. Пожалуйста.
Hi, good morning. It is very special for us to be here. And actually, I don't know who can invite us, Rabbi Tina or Rabbi Gregory, or both of them. Because we came to Canada just in the end of May. And we are part of Shirat HaGan community. And Tanya, about 2 years ago, we started to visit the Shirat HaGan. And Tanya and Eva were converted to Judaism in that community. And now we live here, and it was very special that we will continue to make Kabbalat Shabbat through Zoom in Israel. It was on Friday morning. And then we saw that Tina was in Shirat HaGan, in Ramat Gan, and we immediately called to Gregory to ask the connection, and very glad to be here, that we can continue our Jewish life and Jewish community tradition. It was very important for us because actually I am from Israel many years ago, and 9 years I was working in the police, 2 years in the Ministry of Interior, so a little bit know this system from inside, and it also very difficult to explain what's going on now in Israel. But our personal part, 2023, some 4 years ago, in period of Corona, we met each other, and actually my Judaism was in a very low level, because I was a police officer in the old city, and I saw the Jewish part of life from the very worst part, because in the old city its Western Wall, but also so many criminals and all this Judaism aggressive movements are there concentrated. And when we started to live together with Tanya, actually she wasn't Jew, but she bring me back to not eat the pork and to keep Shabbat and to make Erev Shabbat. So it was very important. And I asked, why don't you want to be converted to Judaism? And we thought about Orthodox Judaism, but thought that it's too strict. And then we, thanks to Gregory, that we met each other. And we started the process, and Tanya passed it. Thank you very much. And Eva find the best place for her carpet here. So she liked to visit here and to play. Thank you so much.
So while I was at Shirat HaGan service, this luminous young woman greeted me, and we connected. I actually have a photograph with Rabbi Gregory and Sophia. And then the gift was that she said, I have someone I absolutely love. She said, a friend, very special friend. I said, she says, very special friend, who lives in Toronto. I said, well, then we must connect.
Yeah. So actually, the community in Ramat Gan became my door to community here. In summer, when Rabbi Tina visited the community in Ramat Gan, my fiancé came on a visit also, took the photo together, spoke a little bit with the rabbis, and after that she said to me, oh, you have such a nice Russian-speaking rabbi in Toronto. Why don't you come to visit her, say hello from me? And that's how I ended up here, actually. And I really like it, and I say thank you to community in Ramat Gan also to give me such a pathway to this community. And I really love people here and back there in Israel, and I believe we'll have a stronger connections in the future. Yeah, thank you.
So, and it's up to you. You make it warm and welcome, and people want to be here on that bridge. We walk. So I know that there is also a speaker from Shirat HaGan. So please, Rabbi Gregory, if you can bring them up, we will hear from them.
So I would like, yes, to bring Svetlana, please.
Okay. Hello. Maybe I'll start with a difficult part. While we are talking, I have a program on my telephone about the threats and the bombing on the north of the country, and there were a number of them during the last few minutes. Terrible attacks there from Lebanon, bombing the northern part of Israel, which is very, very painful. So we are here talking about important things, and the war here continues, and this is very, very difficult and difficult to live in this situation in the country we love. And to get closer why we're here, I met Grigory Kotler maybe 25 years ago in Moscow, and he was one of the first rabbis that talked about the role women play in Jewish life. Women play the role of women in Jewish texts. And that was very new for me and for the women I worked with at that time at the Jewish Women's Organization. And I am very proud and happy when I came in Israel a few years ago to find this wonderful community that Grigory created here in Israel, in Ramat Gan. And to tell you that to come from Ashkelon to Ramat Gan, it's 2.5 hours. So people from all the area come to the meeting, to the community, because this is the place where they can feel themselves accepted and Jewish in the way they can be accepted in Israel as part of their life. And I want to share just few things that impressed me really some time ago. We had bat mitzvah. What's that bat mitzvah? But that was bat mitzvah for the women of different ages, which in their 30s, 40s, and 50s for the first time came to Torah to read a portion, that came together for a few months to prepare for that event. They were studying together. They were reading Torah, and this really, I talked to some of them, they changed themselves very deeply. So that's what the community is doing through Jewish texts, through talking, through communication. The life of people as Jews is changed. And this is not only about converting into Judaism, it's more of spiritual converting to be part of the community, which is in Israel is extremely important because so many people from Russia, Ukraine, and so on come to Israel being very active in their communities over there and lose those Jewish tradition Jewish here in Israel, because it's very difficult to become part of the community and to go to find a way where to come for the Jewish holiday. So the importance of this community that is open for people, for Russian Jews who come to Israel, that it really opens Israel for the people in Israel. So Grigory, thank you for that, and for all the members of the community being so welcomed. So and to finish this, I would say that this is a very controversial and difficult time for the country. And I'm here came here when the war started in Russia, Ukraine, and came here and have in very short time the war started here. And I don't know which war and when is over, and we want peace. And every hour service, Grigory, and we all read prayers for the soldiers who were killed, to remember for the soldiers and to be healed. And maybe all our meeting, our meeting and our possible meetings together will help to heal the Jewish people who are hurt in this war and this situation, and our communities, bring them together and make us stronger. So thank you for your support.
Спасибо большое. Thank you so much. And Gregory, I think this is you are on to, we will be wrapping up. We do have, just in terms of our service, to do Veshamru Kiddush Motzi, and then we're going to go. But I just want to leave 2 last remarks. So Rabbi Gregory, if you want to go first, please.
I just would like to thank you for this meeting. I hope it was inspired for you, for sure for us. And I hope we'll continue our meetings and our connection. It's only beginning. Thank you.
Thank you. Громадная благодарность всем вам, чтобы действительно, дай Бог нам жить в мире. И наше сердце с вами. Если мы плачем вместе. Когда мы смеемся с вами тоже. When we cry together, and when we laugh together. So to our organizers, and it took number of meetings. It's really beautifully done. So Shirat HaGan, we will be in touch, and we want to say to you, Shavua Tov, and for us, it's Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you for your support.
Magic.
Всего
доброго вам, мы успеем. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, we can continue. How are we doing? We're on. Oh, I don't see, so I don't know if we are. So we're okay.
All right.
So let me just say to Darchei Noam, which is very important. You have gifted Shirat HaGan with prayer books. When I was there, I asked to take with me a prayer book, and it's a pamphlet, kind of like, it's made very, it's Darchei Noam 40 years ago, you know what I mean? That's before you got our prayer books. And I said, this is beautiful. Why wanted I? First of all, I collect prayer books because I love prayer, but also because it has prayers in Russian and beautiful poetry. And Rabbi Gregory said, we actually don't have enough. We are growing. And I thought, what a muzzle to have more people than prayer books. Like, we should get there. And I committed Darchei Noam to make sure that Shirat HaGan can receive additional prayer books for their Shabbatot. And so Darchei Noam, kol hakavod, we did it. And so it's to you. To you, we did it, we fulfilled that. And now, also just want to say, October 7th will be marked by our community as well. Of course, there is a gathering in through UJA, which is a community-wide. On October 6th, the evening is dedicated, and we will be to remembering. And remembrances, we are going to be together. We're going to learn with Hartman, in partnership with Hartman Institute in Jerusalem. We're going to light candles, and prior to that, there will be additional session of learning with one of the Toronto scholars. So it's a tradition among our people that you learn in memory of someone. You actually bring consciousness, you expand consciousness in the world. So we will be learning in honor of the fallen, and with the prayer that hostages can come home, and also, we, of course, so please come, and we will be together. So it's October 6th and evening. I think we'll start something around 5:30. So, and the notice will go out with more details and so forth. Okay. We're going to finish the service. David, thank you. Please.
Please rise and turn to page 465 with Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. סברי חבריי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. We join together in Hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.